I
Yes.
think a lot of doctors I think they have high functioning depression. I think they don't have a lot of joy in their lives. They have something called anhedonia, which is a lack of pleasure and interest in things. You're like, meh, bleh. So if you walk into your doctor's office and you're like, I feel meh, bleh, and I have these symptoms of depression, but you're still functioning, they're going to be like, why are you here?
Yeah.
This is not an emergency. Come back when you're in crisis. And so I found that this was a problem in healthcare because when you look at what's happening with physical health, like longevity science, menopause, cancer, it's like, let's catch it before it starts. No one will tell you when you have stage 4 cancer, then come in. They'll say, no, prevent the cancer. Eat foods that are healthy, not processed, right? Like go for your screenings, prevent the cancer, prevent the heart disease, prevent the osteoporosis with the menopause treatments. But no one's doing that for psychiatry. Where is this excitement? It's come back once you break down and you lose functioning or you're in crisis, then we'll help you.
Right. Exactly. And when the pandemic hit, I was like, oh, we're gonna have a mental health crisis, and I was like, we're also gonna have a domestic violence crisis. That was like some of the most terrifying things because you have schools, you have mandatory reporters, and they're not going to be in like children's lives and that sort of thing. It was a terrifying time just thinking about all of the variables and the possibilities. So you mentioned the lab that you started. It's called the Happiness Lab, and well, I want you to tell me a little bit about the lab and the peer reviewed research study that led you to the creation of the book.
Well, I love my lab. It's my baby. My daughter is my first baby. The lab is my second baby. And so I do a lot of fun research in the happiness lab, but in the lab that's the clinical research lab, I do a lot of research trying to develop new treatments for things like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, ADHD, eating disorders, dementia, postpartum depression, and I do a lot of work with psychedelics, which is a new thing.
Mm.
So that lab is very by the book DSM-5 versus the happiness lab. I get to do the fun research. So, high functioning depression is not yet recognized. So I had to submit a protocol to, the IRB. I had to get informed consents, get people, enroll in the study, interview them, just trying to learn about what were the risk factors for high functioning depression. And I explain it this way. So high functioning depression, HFD, the high, if you think of you're in fight or flight, right? You're heightened. That's related to trauma. So high functioning depression is closely tied to unprocessed trauma. And the reason is because when you don't process your trauma, what happens is you cope by avoiding it. Now, classically, when you think of like a combat veteran, they avoid people, places, or situations that trigger them or remind them. But people with high functioning depression avoid their trauma by busying themselves, overworking, ignoring the trauma by overperforming. So the high functioning, the F in HFD, that's the people pleasing. So it's functioning, you're overdoing it, right? This is because likely related to the trauma. One of the symptoms of trauma is feeling as if you're not good enough, feeling self-blame or shame. So what do? You keep constantly trying to prove yourself, like I did, right? From the trauma of being, having those microaggressions, from my scarcity trauma when I was younger, and being in rooms where people were way more wealthy than I was, right? And then the D in HFD is depression. But instead of looking sad or weepy, people with HFD have anhedonia, which is the meh, bleh, like not enjoying things. So
Mhm.
there was a time during 2020 where I was like getting all these studies, getting all these awards, and it was like numb. I felt like I wasn't even enjoying it, but I couldn't stop because I had already started coping by overfunctioning.
Mm. Let me find this card because I wanted you to talk more about anhedonia and also masochism, which are two of the symptoms of high functioning depression, correct?
Yes.
And inside of the book, there's tests that you can take for yourself, correct? Can you demonstrate any of them on me right now?
Yes.
Oh, well then let's go. Okay, let's find out if I have anhedonia.
So the people pleasing is what masochism is. So when you think masochism, most people think of like the sexual term, but
Yeah, like
and
BDSM.
right, yeah.
But
Which
we're
is
not talking about that right
nothing
now.
wrong with that, but that's not the same thing as what we're talking about here. The masochism in the DSM, the Bible psychiatry, that was taken out in the 80s because it really has to do with masochistic personality traits.
Mhm.
These are people who bend over backwards for others, who sabotage their own happiness and joy for the sake of others,
Mhm.
likely due to feelings of unworthiness. Think of doctors who work to the bone, double shift, don't eat, but they're just showing up for the hospital for the patients, right?
And it's just they just consider that part of being a doctor, part of being a resident. It's just that's what you sign up for when you say, "I'm going to be a doctor." That means double, triple shifts. That means no sleep. That's what that means rather than that's not normal.
Right, it's not even thinking about yourself. Or think of the single mom who takes care of everyone but herself, takes care of her parent, takes care of her grandparent, take care of her kids, showing up at work and overcompensating, right, due to a lack of unworthiness. So this is the anhedonia quiz. So I can administer some to
Go
you.
ahead.
Okay, so
Let's try this out. Let's see how high functioning depressed I am.
think of a time in your life when you were overperforming, overdoing, you were masking sadness, and answer these questions based on that.
Okay.
So, at that time, did you make delayed future happiness statements instead of feeling gratitude in the moment? This is what that sounds like. When I get this job, then I will finally be happy. When I fall in love one day, then I will finally be happy.
No.
Okay. At that time, did you find it hard to feel fulfilled by resting or taking breaks because instead you felt restless and empty when you were not busy?
No.
Did you almost never take the time to save your meals? And this might be because you were multitasking, eating while working, mindlessly munching in front of the TV at night, scarfing down food in the evening because you forgot to eat all day.
No.
Did you seldom enjoy the curiosity of reading for leisure?
Yes.
When you took naps, did you wake up feeling tired instead of refreshed?
Yes.
When you watch TV or movies, are you doing something else or distracted from the program?
No.
When you make an effort to dress up, did you hardly ever luxuriate in the experience?
Yes.
When others complimented you, did you have a hard time feeling pride at the praise?
No.
Did you have a difficult time feeling connected to others during social interactions with friends or family members?
Yes.
Is it challenging for you to relax on vacations? This is at that time, or on holidays?
No.
Did you find it difficult to enjoy your expertise with your favorite hobbies or activities?
Yes.
Did you find it hard to feel delight in listening to music?
No.
Did you have a difficult time enjoying sensuality during physical intimacy?
Yes.
Oh, you were in the moderate range for anhedonia.